It's day 7, it's July 1st, 2016. My name is Mo Agostino, Chief Commodity Strategist with Farms.com Risk Management. We're in the state of Nebraska. We continue with our crop tour in 2016. We're south on Hickman Road. We're traveling on Hickman Road south of Hickman, Nebraska. And before we get to some of the crops, just a couple facts about Nebraska ag. 79% of the corn is rated good to excellent, 3% very poor to poor. We got about almost 10 million acres planted this year. It's up 3% from 15, and the record yield was actually 2015. Now the state of Nebraska is a lot of the corn is irrigated. Beans, 5.3 million. We're up a little bit from 2015, about 58,000. Record yield 58. That was also in 2015. And then wheat, it's about a third to almost half harvested. About 1.35 million acres. We're down from last year. Average yield is about 38. And did you know that over 1 billion pounds of milk is produced by Nebraska dairy cows? So we're in front of a cornfield here. Most of what we've seen so far in Nebraska, similar to what we've seen in Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, and now Nebraska. It's lush, it's green, it's looking good. Looks like it had a good start. I don't see any weed or disease pressure. This is 30-inch rows here. We're tasseling. We're actually creating some small ears as well. But we'll continue to talk to farmers, and many of them have been concerned about the lack of moisture. They had a great start, but lately it's been drying down. We're now traveling north on Highway 79. We're just west of Weston, Nebraska. We're heading northwest up towards Crofton, Nebraska. And this is typical of what we're seeing here in Nebraska. It's probably had a good early start, but from what farmers have said so far, it's had some moisture, but over the last month, they're experiencing some dry weather. Lacking the rain. They're expected to get some this weekend. We'll see if that happens. We're getting some cracks in the soil. It's a little dry at the top here. No disease pressure. A little bit of weeds here and there, but nothing out of control. And it looks like it's just about to tassel here for the July 4th weekend. We're traveling west on Highway 15. We're just south of Columbus, near Rising City, Nebraska. And this is a soybean field. Looks like it was just sprayed, 30-inch rows. It's a little dry, but overall, looking decent. It's a cooler day today. It hasn't been as hot as the last few days. Getting a little cloudy, and maybe those rainstorms are coming in, but soybeans still have a long ways to go before pod fill. We're traveling north on 81, just east of Pierce, Nebraska. And you can see in the distance we've got a pivot. There's a lot of irrigation in Nebraska. About 44% of all the acres are irrigated. And so this has a lot of potential. Typically irrigated land can produce 250 bushels per acre compared to the dry land. But it can also be subject to temperatures. So if the temperatures during the day are too high, or if the temperatures at night are not cool enough, it can still affect those yields. We're traveling east on Highway 12. We're just approaching Wynot, Nebraska, and it's day 7, July 1st. We're going to end our tour of the state of Nebraska, and we're standing in front of a nice cornfield here, and this is the typical size that we've seen in Nebraska. It's probably about a week or two away from tasseling. The state of Nebraska has had too much moisture through the month of May. It delayed some of the planting in this area near Crofton that we've been at. They had too much rain, and some of the crops are delayed by 1 to 2 weeks. In fact, there's even some late planted corn that's just barely ankle high. The beans are looking good, from ankle high to knee high, but guys are still suggesting that they're going to need some moisture moving forward. So the crops are lush green, they're looking good. The state, half of the state is irrigated, so but that those irrigated acres can still be affected by temperature, so expect it to get hot again here over the next week or so. The month of July is critical for corn, the month of August, and September for beans. But Nebraska as a whole, I think, is on par with Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois in terms of where the crops are. We didn't see a lot of tasseled corn, a little bit behind, but nonetheless, I think at this point, it's about an average to above average crop. There's still a lot of potential, but we're, for Nebraska, we're going to rank 1 out of 10. We're going to rank it about a 6.5 to 7 at this point.